Welcome in. Great new day to all my self care family and friends. I want to welcome each and every one of you back to another episode of the Room2Breathe podcast, the space where we untangle life's chaos, dig deep, and give ourselves permission to exhale. I am your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so thrilled to have each and every one of you here with us today. Whether you're listening from the comfort of your home, on your morning commute, or while you're out taking your walk, I'm just grateful that you've carved this time out for yourself. Now, before we dive into today's episode, just a quick reminder. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to tap the screen, like, comment, and share. Your support helps us to connect with more amazing people like you. And if we're not friends already, please be sure to give us a follow, subscribe to our channel, so that way you never miss out on our latest content. I also invite you to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. We've got some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, and a bunch of free resources that are designed just for you. No matter what challenges you are currently facing in life, remember you're not on this path alone. We are in this together, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. It is time for us to choose to prioritize our peace, to embrace our growth, and again, find peace in this present moment. So let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. Can I see some green hearts in the chat for those of you who are ready today? Thank you, Kale. I see you, girl. We got Kale, we got Buddha, we got Lady Blue. Who else is in the house today? Charisma. I see you hanging out with us on the north side. Thank you guys. GC Rise, William, TJ coming. Welcome in. So, again, you guys, today we are going to be diving into a truth that may sting a little. Okay. It might sting just a little bit, y'all. But I promise you it's coming from a place of love. All right. Let's just start with that. It's coming from a place of love. Okay. Our topic for today, and I'm gonna step on y'all's toes, so get ready. Hey Christian. Listen, get ready, y'all. Okay? Exhale, let it go. And I don't know if anybody told y'all, but I'm gonna say it. You are not too busy for self-care. You just don't prioritize yourself. Sorry, not sorry. Now look, before y'all start listing off a bunch of reasons that your schedule is packed, hear me out. Okay? Don't get mad. Hear me out. I already know some of y'all gonna hit me with but you don't understand. My life is different. I don't have time. And I hear you. I really do. I hear you. Life is a lot between work, the kids, deadlines, family drama, bills, appointments, this never ending to do list, right? I get it. I get it. You're busy and you're tired. But let me ask you something. How is it that we all have the same 24 hours in the day, yet somehow it's always time for work? It's always time for errands. There's always time for running around doing things for other people. There's always time for social media. Let me make sure I step on everybody's toes. Right, Queen? Right, Juice? Like, I'm going to just step on all y'all's toes. Y'all got time for social media. Y'all got time for answering text messages, watching Netflix, right? But when it comes to self care, when it comes to you, suddenly, poof, there's no time left, right? Does this sound familiar to anybody? Anybody willing to admit, hey, that's me? No? Okay, it's cool. It's cool because listen, around here we listen and we don't judge. Okay, y'all? This is a safe space, and I am not here to shame you. And I'm definitely not here to tell you just manage your time better. Like, I'm not gonna send you out the door like that. I'm not some pro- productivity guru. Nah, like I'm here to get real with you. And I can do that because I've been there. Hell, a lot of times I'm still there. Like, let's just be honest. Some days I still struggle with this. But if we just be real for a second, a lot of us say we don't have time. But what we really mean is we don't make time. We don't prioritize ourselves the way we prioritize everything else. We put ourselves dead last and then wonder why we feel so drained, so resentful, so empty. Lady Blue said, I love how you get us together with love. Yeah, it's with love. You know, I might hurt your feelings. It's just with love, sis. And look, let me tell y'all something. This world will let you keep running on empty. Life will keep piling on. People will continue to expect things from you if you keep saying yes to everything and everyone except yourself. And it's not because they're bad people, right? It's simply because you have to be the one to draw the line. You. You have to be the one to say, hold up, I matter too. Big Shark, you got to tell them, I matter too. And now I know what you're thinking. Y'all over there like, but I just can't stop everything. I got people who depend on me, right? I've got responsibilities. And of course you do. And I'm not telling you to ignore your responsibilities. But what I am saying is that if you don't start treating yourself like a priority, you're going to burn out. Bless that peace. If you don't start prioritizing yourself, you're going to burn out. And see, when that happens, then those same people that depend on you, they're going to have to deal with a version of you that is running on fumes. You're going to be snapping at everything and everyone, barely holding it together. And that's not fair to you. It's definitely not fair to them. So, like, what's the real issue here? Is it that you don't have time? Or is it that somewhere along the way, you started believing that you didn't deserve to take up space? Did you, at some point in your life, decide that you don't deserve to take up space in your own life? I want y'all to sit with that for a second because we're going to talk about it. Now, a few years ago, I was that person, the one who never had time for themselves. I had a packed schedule from sunrise to sunset. I was prioritizing work, family, responsibilities, answering emails at all hours of the day and night, showing up for everybody except me. And I told myself, I'll rest later. I, I sleep when I'm dead, y'all. That was my mentality. Team no sleep over here, right? And, you know, I just kept going. I might be a little dehydrated, you know. It's okay. I'll just keep going. But as the day went on, my head started pounding, my chest started feeling tight, and my body just refused to move in the manner that I wanted to, in the manner that I commanded it to, right? And at first I brushed it off. I would just take a deep breath and I would push through because that's what I've always done. That's what society had conditioned me to do, just push through. And that night, my body just shut down. I was absolutely exhausted, had nothing else in me, right? And so I can remember I just collapsed right on my bed. Now, I didn't black out, but it was like my body hit the emergency brake. And I just laid there, shaking. My heart was racing, tears welling up in my eyes. And that realization hit me like a ton of bricks, you guys. I realized I did this to myself. I wasn't sick. I wasn't dying. I wasn't having a heart attack. I was completely burnt out. My body was screaming for rest, and I ignored it. I ignored it for far too long. And so for me, that moment changed everything because as I sat there, my mind flooded with excuses, saying things like, "Oh, I don't have time for self-care." Right, Toy Toy? I was like, I don't have time for self-care. I got too much to do. I got people who need me. And then it hit me, y'all. If I keep living like this, I'm not going to be able to show up for anyone, right? I'm not going to be anything to anybody else because I'm not prioritizing me. I'm not even showing up for me. And here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. When you don't prioritize yourself, life will eventually force you to. Misunderstood. It's going to force you to, whether you want to or not. Whether it's through burnout, illness, a full-blown breakdown, your body and your mind will eventually demand rest, one way or another. And I had spent years believing that my worth was tied to my productivity. And so, I had this mentality that resting was a luxury and that slowing down meant I was failing. If I wasn't doing something, then I wasn't worth nothing. But I was wrong. And so from that day forward, I made a decision. I refused to live in survival mode. Y'all, at that point, I was like, listen, I gotta change some things. I need to make a change in my life. I started setting boundaries. I learned how to say no. I made peace with the fact that some things could just wait. And most importantly, I started to put myself at the top of my to-do list. I started making myself a priority. Georgia Peach. I I started making myself the number one. And let me tell y'all something. Nothing fell apart when I started prioritizing my self-care. The world kept spinning, people adapted, and instead of running on empty, I started showing up for people as the best version of myself. So let me ask you this. What's it going to take for you to prioritize yourself? Are you going to wait for burnout to knock you down? Or are you going to start making time for you now? Because here's what I know for sure, you are not too busy for self care. You just have to believe that you're worth the time. Exactly. You've got to believe that you're worth the time. And trust me, you are. You are worth it. Let's be real. The whole "I'm too busy" phrase is often another way of saying it's not a priority. So if you say "I'm too busy for self-care," you're saying that your self-care is not worth it, that it's not a priority. And again, I know life is demanding. Thank you, Charisma. I know that life is demanding. Responsibilities pile up. But here's the thing. If you don't make yourself a priority, who will? Shanice, who will? Too oftentimes, we place ourselves at the bottom of the list. We run around filling everybody else's cup up. We run around pouring into everyone else, and we leave ourselves running on empty. And then we wonder why we're exhausted. We wonder why we're frustrated and overwhelmed and tired. Thank you, Ashley. Welcome in, love. Hey, Evolve. And so I started thinking, why do we keep telling ourselves this lie? Right? I know I'm not the only one. So I started thinking about why. Why do we keep lying to ourselves? And the first why that I came up with was we've been conditioned to, right? We've been conditioned to believe that productivity equals worth. We've been conditioned to believe that productivity equals worth. We live in a world that glorifies being busy as if exhaustion is such a badge of honor. We hear phrases like, I'll rest when I'm dead, sleep is for the weak, right? And so we start to internalize that. But constantly being on the go doesn't make you more valuable, it just makes you more exhausted. So that was the first why that I came up with. The second why is that we prioritize others over ourselves. How many times have you said to someone else while silently saying it to yourself, whether it's work, family, friends, right? We often put everyone else's needs ahead of our own. We tell ourselves, I'll take care of me after I take care of them. But the problem is, there's always something or someone else that is demanding our attention. Right, Queen? It's always something or someone else that needs our attention. And that after never comes. My girl said, ouch. Listen, it's okay. We're not alone. You're not alone in this. The next reason why that I came up with was we overestimate how much time self care takes. We overestimate how much time self care takes. A lot of people think that self care has to be this big, time consuming event, like an entire spa day or a 2 hour workout, a weekend getaway, right? We think that self care has to be some grand gesture. And while those things are great, I'm not knocking it. It feels good. It's relaxing. Those are amazing, right? Self care doesn't have to be some all or nothing. It can be 5 minutes of deep breathing, it could be stretching or just sipping your morning coffee in silence before the day starts. Miss Universe, welcome in. We think that self care has to be so big, and so we end up doing nothing at all. Another reason that I came up with is that we tend to feel guilty about taking time for ourselves. I know the mamas in the room know that, right? We feel guilty when we take time for ourselves because we could be doing something for the kids. You could be doing something for your husband, or you feel like you should be doing something for your wife, right? So we start to feel guilty for taking time for ourselves. So let's talk about guilt for just a moment. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that taking time for ourselves meant that we were lazy. It meant that we were selfish, especially when you're the caregiver, right? When you're a parent or, caring for a loved one. Or if you're someone who's in like the helping profession, right? You might feel like self care is indulgent. But here's the truth: when you don't take time for yourself, you're not showing up as your best self for anyone. So, are you truly serving them? And the last reason I came up with, you guys, The one that I think that everyone can agree to being guilty of is that we allow distractions to steal our time. We allow distractions to rob us of our time. And I know each and every one of y'all is guilty of scrolling on social media, right? Getting caught up in everybody else's everything. You ever notice how there's no time for self care, but it's always time for social media? It's no time for self care, but it's always time to binge watch TV or respond to texts or emails. We don't even realize it, but those distractions eat up a huge portion of our day. We say we're too busy, but in reality, we're often just too distracted. Hey, Rochelle. Right, Martina said that is so true. Listen, right? Like we're constantly just being distracted. And so, over time, you guys, somewhere along the way, self-care got mislabeled as extra. It was labeled as a luxury, right? Something that is reserved for when everything else gets done. Thank you. But let's be clear. Self-care isn't a spa day. It's not a vacation. It's not a splurge on expensive products. Those things are nice. But true self care is about maintaining your well being mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Kel said, get out my business. Listen, it's bigger than that. We have to start to holistically prioritize ourselves. Thank you, Jude. Think of it like this, you guys. Would you ever let your phone battery hit 0% without charging it? Probably not, right? Yet we do this to ourselves all the time. Thank you, Jude. We do this to ourselves all the time. We're running on empty, ignoring all the warning signs. And then we wonder why we feel so drained, why we're not operating at our full potential. And here's why self-care isn't a luxury, right? It's it's a requirement for a balanced, healthy, and sustainable life. Your body needs self-care to function. Your body needs self-care to function. So, neglecting rest and movement and hydration, for those of y'all who don't drink water, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to you. Okay? So, when we ignore our rest, our movement, our hydration, our nutrition, right? That leads to burnout. So, these things, eventually force our body to slow down. So why are we waiting for that breaking point? I'm just saying. Why are we waiting for that? Your mind needs it to stay clear and focused. Has anyone ever felt like their brain is in a fog? Right? You just feel something just feels a little cloudy. Well, in case nobody told you, that's a sign that you're not giving yourself enough mental space to breathe. My sis say it all the time. Listen, that's a sign, Ashley, that you're not giving your brain enough room to breathe. When your mind is overworked, your decision making suffers, creativity dims, and even simple tasks start to feel overwhelming. Things that you normally do with ease now all of a sudden seem so difficult to do. It's just not working out. Your mind needs self-care to stay clear and to stay focused. Your emotions need self-care for stability. Self-care helps you regulate your emotions. So when we neglect ourselves, stress builds up, Your patience wears thin. We become more irritable, more anxious, right? So, prioritizing your self care and taking that time to check in with yourself helps you to prevent the emotional burnout. Y'all ain't gonna want to hear this, but I'm gonna tell y'all anyway, because I already warned y'all about what today was gonna bring. Your relationships need self care. And I'm talking about the intimate one. I'm talking about your friendships, your partnerships, your entanglements, your whatever ship you done rode in here on, okay? Needs self care. Relationships benefit from self care. See, when you take care of yourself, you show up better for others. You have more patience, you have more energy, you have the emotional capacity to pour into your relationship in a healthy way, right? Welcome in, Sandra. And self care prevents burnout before it happens, right? Many of us don't take the time to start self caring until we're burnt out. But if we just prioritize our self care on a daily basis, that prevents the burnout from happening. Many people only think about self care after they hit the breaking point. I'm in your business again, sis. My bad. True self care is preventative, it's not just reactive. It is about creating habits that sustain you so that you don't get to the point of exhaustion. Hey, Martina. It's about helping you before you hit that emotional collapse. Making self-care a priority even with a busy schedule is key. And so you're like, "Okay, how do we shift it?" Right? How do we shift our mindset and actually prioritize our self-care? Well, step 1 would be to schedule it like an appointment, right? We make time for everything else in our life. All day long, we know what to do. 10 o'clock, oh, I know I got to do this. 11 o'clock, oh, I know I got to be here. 8 p.m. tonight, my show coming on. We got a schedule for everything we do. So every day, you need to schedule time for self care. Block off time for self care the same way you do for work meetings, for doctor's visits, for your TV shows, even if it's only 10 minutes. Schedule it and honor it. Second, you need to set boundaries. Boundaries are key in every single thing that we do. I need you to begin to learn to say no to the things that drain you and yes to the things that refill your cup. Stop overcommitting and start protecting your peace. And lastly, number 3, find self care in the small moments. Self care isn't just spa days or vacations, it's deep breathing between tasks, it's journaling for 5 minutes, it's listening to music that soothes your soul, aka downloading that Room to Breathe playlist on all streaming platforms because that's music that calms and feeds your soul, right? It pours into you. And look, y'all, let's let's just sit with all of this for a second. Because I know we've processed a lot, and I know I've stepped on a lot of people's toes today. And I warned you. And I know some of y'all are still thinking, yeah, coach, you don't understand my life though. You don't know my schedule. And I really don't be having the time, coach. And I hear you. I do. I promise I do. I hear you. Thank you. But let me ask you this. If somebody you loved needed help, would you find the time? If your boss scheduled a last minute meeting, would you find the time? If your kid got sick, if a friend needed you, or if an emergency came up, would you make the time? You ain't got to answer. I already know. Exactly. You'd make the time. So, why do we treat everybody else's needs as urgent, but we put our own at the bottom of the list? Why do we act like taking care of ourselves is optional? Butterfly, welcome in, love. Why do we make ourselves an option? Like, we'll just squeeze it in if there's anything left over after we give everybody else the best that we've got, right? I make a little time for me after I make all the time for them. But spoiler alert, there's never anything left over because we gave it all away. We are running on fumes. Y'all, we running on fumes. And then we wonder why we feel resentful, why we snap at our kids, our partners, our coworkers, why we're so damn tired all the time. Let me tell you something. That burnout that you feel is not a badge of honor. Your exhaustion does not prove your worth. You don't get extra points in life for being the one that suffers the most. There's no bonus, there's no prize in that. So, what if we flip the script on it, y'all? What if we stop treating self care like it's a guilty pleasure and start treating it like the fuel that keeps us going? Because that's exactly what it is. And I'm going to be real with you. If you don't take the time to rest, your body will force you to. Whether it's through stress, sickness, burnout, or a complete emotional breakdown, your body and mind will shut down if you keep ignoring them. And I get it. Life is demanding. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Sexy lady, welcome in. Dimensions Mob, welcome in. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And the longer you try to, the more damage you cause to yourself and to the people around you. So, what's the plan? Because we're not doing this anymore, y'all, right? We're not pretending like self care is something we'll get to. I'll get around to it. We're not doing that no more. We know better now, right? We know better, so we are going to do better. So, what's the plan? Because life's not going to slow down, right? Things aren't going to stop piling up. We have to make the time. You have to choose yourself. You've got to choose you. I'm challenging you this week. No, scratch that. I'm daring you this week. Okay? I dare you to take just one moment for you every single day. Every single day. Okay? Not just because I said so, not just because it's trending, right? But because you deserve it. And because the people who depend on you need you to be well. And we're not waiting till tomorrow. We're not starting next week. We're not going to wait till the first. Today is the day. If this hit home for you, then you understand that today is your day. And you know what? If someone immediately came to mind during this conversation, then share it with them, right? Share this stream with someone who needs to hear it. But most importantly, today being the day, I need for you to do something about it. Don't just nod your head in agreement. I need you to actually start treating yourself like a priority. And it starts by simply taking a deep breath in and then letting it go. Now, listen, y'all, as we wrap up today's episode, I just want to say thank you for taking this time for you and joining us today. If you've enjoyed our time together, be sure to give us a follow, subscribe to our channel, so that way you never miss out on our latest content. And don't forget to head over to the selfcareclub.org. We have some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, including our music, as well as a treasure trove of free resources that are designed just for you. So, whether you are looking to elevate your self care game or you just need a little extra inspiration to help you get through the day, know that we've got you covered. I thank each and every one of you for being a part of the Self Care Club community. And I look forward to connecting with you all again soon. But until next time, I encourage you to keep breathing, stay positive, and to remember that you will always be supported here at the Self Care Club. Do not be afraid to take up space and make a little room for you to breathe. I pray that you all have an amazing day on purpose, filled with nothing but purpose. And I look forward to reconnecting with you soon. I love y'all. Take care, and I'll see you next time. I found my